Hello and welcome to the Real Women, Real Purpose Talk Show. I'm Ginny Robertson, the host of the Real Women, Real Purpose Talk Show, where I talk with real women who are living their lives on purpose and bringing their unique gifts to the planet. I'm also the founder and publisher of On Purpose Woman magazine and the founder of the On Purpose Woman Global Community. Today, I'm talking with Reiki Master Teacher and Certified Emotion Code and Body Code Practitioner, Michele Silva-Dockery. Michele is also the founder of Caring Onward, where she supports caregivers. Michele has walked the challenging path of caregiving herself, caring for her late mother with dementia, and supporting her husband through cancer. She understands how overwhelming and isolating it can feel. Her journey has led her to create a space where caregivers can find relief from stress and tools to cope with the daily struggles of caregiving. Michele, thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. This is wonderful. I love this community. I love what you've created.
Thank you. And I'm looking forward to talking with you today because we haven't done an interview like this yet. So,
No, we haven't.
in my intro, I mentioned a bit about how you decided to work with caregivers, and in your intro, I also read that you had done a lot of caregiving yourself. Do you want to say any more about your journey from there to here? Like, how did you get from that moment to this moment?
Sure. Well, first of all, I never thought that I was going to go into helping caregivers. It just I just kept getting signs here and there, people saying things, and I do listen to guides, and um, so for many years, I was a caregiver to my mother, and only child, so I was it for her. And at the same time, teaching full time, public schools, and then 2018, my husband got aggressive prostate cancer, and then there were other family members who were in dire situations. So it was kind of like I experienced the whole sandwich generation and the stress and the overwhelm and the feeling of just waking up dreading the day.
Mm.
Um, and I can relate to what people go through, having gone through it myself. Obviously, I did not have experience with caregiving and some other aspects than just my family, but I found along the way through your wonderful networking group. Um, Actually, I always say Reiki found me. And 2018, I started on my Reiki journey. And I had stopped teaching mathematics in 2017 after 20 years. And it just transformed my life. It it uh it gave me a way to cope better with the stress, and also through your wonderful organization I started working with a life coach, something that I never thought that I would ever do. I was like, why would people, you know, work with a life coach? And that also transformed my life. So I basically, long story short, I went from surviving to thriving.
Mm.
I really, the old cliche. I am that cliche. I went from surviving to thriving. I went through having no joy, going through the motions. Even though, I mean, my husband is my soulmate, happy with him, but things were just too heavy.
Right.
It's kind of like you're in a situation where you don't even know what you need. You don't, people are like, oh, let me know what if I can help. It's like, I have no idea. I'm just in this hole. And so I slowly got out of that hole and learned so many tips and started being eager to learn more. The world of energy healing just kind of opened up. Um, and as soon as you start learning Reiki, you can actually practice and give Reiki to others and to yourself and to your animals. And
Let me
and so
stop
I
you there.
started,
Let me stop you
yeah,
here. Let's not assume that everybody watching this knows what Reiki is. It's a lot more common now than it was 30 years ago. But can you give a really simple explanation of what Reiki is and how it can be used with someone?
Sure. Yeah, you're absolutely right. They are. I do encounter people every week who still don't know what Reiki is, and that's perfectly normal.
Just
I
take the
had no idea
mystery out of it here,
I
okay?
had no idea in 2018, until I met a couple women through your group. So it's an energy healing modality that comes from Japan. Um, it's considered to be a universal life force. It's very gentle. It's palm healing has been around for millennium, right? People have done we naturally put our hands on things that hurt, or mothers, parents put their hands on things that hurt, and that helps. Well, Reiki is a form of palm healing, but it takes it to I believe a deeper level. It's just the energy flows through. I don't give Reiki, right? Reiki flows through me and it comes out, whether in person or remotely. Um, what it does is it's clears energetic blockages from people's bodies and emotions. It paves the way for the body to heal itself.
Mhm.
And the biggest takeaway that people have when they've have a session the first time, second time, is how calm they feel, how rested they feel. Um, and once in a while, things come up. Sometimes you get some emotions that come up that were kind of blocked in there. But so that's basically what Reiki is. It's a energy healing modality and the beauty of it is it can absolutely do no harm, no
Mm.
matter what. You can't do Reiki wrong. So,
And people can learn to do it on themselves as well, right?
correct. I mean, it's one of the modalities, one of the few modalities in the world where you need to have what's called an attunement,
Mhm.
and it's basically the master teacher. I don't really like that term, not a master, but the person who's been trained to teach um, basically opens up the student to receiving the frequency of Reiki. That's what an attunement is. And then
Okay.
once you're attuned and you learn the basics, you learn the positions, you learn how to give yourself and others, then you can practice that. Even if you just stop at Reiki 1, you can practice that the rest of your life.
Mhm.
I use Reiki every day for everything. So,
Well, I heard a marketing guru say years ago, I've heard it more than once, that if you want to know who your ideal client is, look in the mirror. So it sounds like you created what you needed back when you couldn't find it or didn't even know if it would be out there, right? So is that how you feel about this now? You've created what you wished you'd had?
oh, absolutely. And back to the caregiving part.
Right.
Um, it's really only this past year that I have had more of a focus on caregivers. I want to make it clear that I'm not only interested in helping caregivers.
Right. I was going to ask you about that. Yes.
They just happen to, a lot of people that come to me for physical ailments, emotional issues, or a desire for some more financial abundance or whatever it is that they need. And then a lot of times it turns out that they are like full-time caregivers. Not all of them, but um, so my company is Caring Onward, and I do call myself Caring for Caregivers. But what people don't realize, and I'm going off tangent a little bit, but I think it's relevant, is a lot of people don't know that they are caregivers.
I agree. I agree.
If you're taking care of an animal in your home, you're a caregiver. If you Ginny, are a caregiver because you are supporting so many women and you are nurturing them and encouraging them and creating a beautiful space. You're a caregiver. I was a caregiver just as a teacher,
Yeah.
right? 150 students every year. And the best part was when they come to you after school and they tell you their stories and their joys and their crises, and they come back after they've joined the Marines or whatever, they come back proudly in their uniform. That's a form of caregiving. It's not just people who have to take care of handicapped or disabled, sorry, and elderly.
Mhm.
It's social workers, coaches, healers, nurses, doctors, you name it.
Everybody, really,
Everybody.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I want to make sure that, listeners, viewers who are watching this now or in the future, that it's not just a little niche. It's not
Mhm.
just a little, you know, clump of people.
Yeah,
It's a huge amount.
yeah. Thank you for making that distinction. And I know you also discovered you've been doing Reiki for a few years. I know you're also trained to teach Reiki. And then you discovered another form of energy healing that works so well for you that you went out and got yourself certified in the process. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So that's actually very recent, even though it's been so phenomenal that I probably have given way over 200 sessions by now. So I think it might have been about a year ago that somebody, a friend of mine, was telling me about emotion code and body code. So I was like, yeah. So I looked into it a little bit. I thought, well, that's kind of cut and dry. I was skeptical at first because it's so methodical. These are codes that, anyway, I can go into it a little bit later. And then I started learning about it more, and I decided, okay, well, I'm going to try this emotion code, which is the first level that you take, by Dr. Bradley Nelson. He's the one who founded this modality in the late 90s. And I started practicing, and my husband was my first guinea pig. He just happened to have acute bursitis on his right knee, and he was about to, drive to Denver the next day from Maryland. So that's a long drive. And so we did a session together, and he went from a level 7 pain to about a 2
Mm.
after the session, and then the next day was completely gone. So it was like, okay, this stuff works.
Something to this, right?
Is
Right.
this is yeah. So I was hooked, and I signed up for the certification, and loved it so much that almost immediately I signed up for the next level, which is the body code. So what those modalities, the belief is that the subconscious is highly intelligent. It knows everything about our bodies, our emotions, what we need. Um, so it's about restoring balance into our system, like the parasympathetic and the sympathetic, restoring balance. And the reason they start with emotion code is so many of our physical issues are due to what's called trapped emotions, emotions that we have not been able to process at different parts of our lives. And, some examples are, uh, let's say, liver is sort of associated with anger. Lungs, issues with lungs, a lot of times are associated with grief, and so on and so forth. So we start with emotion code, and that clears a lot. Once you start clearing emotions from when you were 3 years old or 14 years old or yesterday. People talk about feeling lighter. They just feel lighter. They don't know why, but they feel lighter. And a lot of times it takes care of some physical issues they might have been experiencing. And then the body code um, takes care of, the emotion code is within the body code. It finds pathogens, toxins, misalignments in glands, organs. It's it's pretty amazing.
And I know there's, it's one of those things, anytime we talk about energy, I mean, there's some very scientific studies and just very scientific explanations for why certain things like this work, but yet it's very challenging to actually explain why and how it works. And sometimes it's just a faith-based position, right? You just, like you said, this modality as well can do no harm. You're not going to harm
Correct.
yourself by participating. And so it is kind of like, well, that might sound a little weird, or that might sound a little strange, or I mean, I'm not, explaining it fully, but yet when it happens. I mean, you saw it work with your husband, and it worked with you already, or you wouldn't have taken it to that next level. So
Hmm.
everybody watching, I think a lot of people watching will understand energy healing. They've already had energy healing in some form, so you know what we're talking about. But for other people, educate yourself a little bit more, have a conversation with Michele to see, get more information about how it might support you. And I will say, I'm not going to go into details today about me, but I did have 3 sessions with you, and very surprised by some things that were still kind of stuck in there, and work through those. They were moved around. They were, I don't know how to explain it. And it was very timely. It was a very good time for me to have this happen because of some other things that were going on personally in my life, some very good things. And, I it wasn't one of those things where I just, we did it on the phone. I was, on my lounge and relaxing, but I didn't jump up and go, oh, I feel better already. But there was a calmness, and I was already in pretty great shape. I don't have a lot of stuff that goes around, but there was something different. There was
Hmm.
something just different. And I think it's continued, and I forget about it. But then now that we're talking, I kind of go, I think this right now still has something to do with that we did. So it's fascinating. It's really fascinating. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But
Thank you.
but you
Yeah.
just have to experience it. You just have to experience it. And again, reach out to Michele. Do you do like a consultation with people up front to see if it's a fit?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a on my website, there's a link to just have a 30-minute chat,
Okay. Okay.
ask questions, get to know each other. And I think what I'd like to do, I got this idea from somebody else. I love the idea of offering the first session for a lot cheaper than
Hmm.
the other sessions. I really, that totally resonates with me. Try it out because
Hmm.
it is weird. If you're not used to energy healing, first of all, I've had people go, "You do this remotely? How does that work?"
Yeah.
So there's a lot of um there's for people who don't know, who haven't experienced energy healing, there is a certain amount of trust,
Yeah. You're
as you
right.
said,
Right. Yeah.
right? And
I'm going to suggest a reframe on your words there. Instead of cheaper, how about maybe offering a discount on the first session?
there you go. Okay.
Just like a try it kind of discount. And if that
Yeah.
resonates with you, I say, go out there and do it. And so people can
Mhm.
go on your website. Tell us how they can find out more about you, Michele.
So my website is caringonward.com. Caring Onward, one word. And it tells you a little bit about the different modalities, has a little bit of my bio and the services. And I'm not going to say it's still under construction. It's I I like my website. I got help doing it. But there's some changes I need to make. But yeah, go on my website. There's also, if there's a freebie that I offer, and that is, it's designed for caregivers, but it's designed for anybody who, who does not feel stress at any point in their lives, right? You just sign up for the freebie and you get one email a day for 7 days. And it's very short. People who are overwhelmed do not need to see an email that takes,
Right.
15 minutes to read. And it's very quick tips, 3 to 5 minutes. It takes you 3 to 5 minutes to do the tip
Mm.
to learn to de-stress.
Well, that sounds
And then
wonderful.
there's an affirmation with each email that's relevant to the tip. And I've had very good feedback on it. It's like it's just very quick.
And that is on your website. They can sign up for that on your
Yeah.
site. Okay, that
Mm-hmm.
information will be in the text of this video. If you're watching this live right now on my Facebook page, it's not there yet because Facebook only, or Zoom, I guess, is only lets you put in so many characters. I have to go in and edit it. So it will be there in about at least by 4 o'clock, it'll be there. And then if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, it's there right now. So check it out. Sign up for Michelle's freebie because it sounds lovely and it's only 7 days. And then they can continue to use it over and over again, right? They can
Sure. Yeah.
send it email. Michelle, you have anything you have coming up that you want to share?
Um, so I am teaching my next Reiki 1 class online, starting October 30th. It's 4 1-hour Zoom live meetings on Wednesdays from 1 to 2 Eastern time. And I also like to use a learning platform called Ruzuku, where
Mhm.
students can connect. They have the material pretty much. It's a lifetime access with replays.
Okay.
And by the end of the course, they will be fully Reiki 1 certified. They get a certification. Um, I got permission from Jen Palmer at Nourishing Journey in Columbia, Maryland. She's like, yes, absolutely. Go ahead and teach a live class as well. So that's to be announced.
Okay.
And for any local viewers, local to Central Maryland, I will be a practitioner at Nourishing Journey in Columbia
Nice.
starting October 8th.
Wow.
Just one day a week for now, and then the rest of it I do online
You can
or
be
on the
in
phone
person.
or
Yeah.
remotely.
Right. Right.
Right.
Yeah. That's exciting stuff for someone who's this a year ago didn't know you'd be doing this, right? I mean, you're already doing the Reiki and things, but yeah,
Hmm.
created an entire business around it now. So I mean, you gave me a lot of credit in the beginning of their video here, but I just want to tell you how proud I am of you and how you've just taken this retired math teacher person and turned
Retired.
them, yeah, and just you found your sweet spot. I think you found something that just resonates with you that you're so excited about teaching and helping people with. So congratulations on that because that's
Oh,
that's big, and the
thank
world
you, Jenny.
needs your work. The world needs your work, and we need to all be doing our part right now to raise the vibe, right?
I agree. And the last few years of teaching, I always knew there was something else I was meant to do.
Yeah.
And it
Wow.
took me 7 years to really figure that out.
Well, kudos because some people never figure it out. So it's never too late to start figuring those things out.
Right.
So you want to share a final thought with us?
I'll I'll continue what you say about it's never too late.
Hmm.
I don't mind sharing my age. I'm 64 years young, and I'm launching a brand new business. And I've gone from surviving to thriving,
Mhm.
and just never, ever, ever give up. We have that magnet on our fridge from Winston Churchill. and we've had it for years, and it got through so many things. Is until you experience what it feels like to have imbalances released, most of us really don't know what kind of abundance we can experience, what joy we can experience. Um, the universe just has so much to offer, so I know it's a mixed match of messages, but it's really just, it's never too late to start. Don't give up, and just know that things can be so much better.
And I'm just going to add, and so it is. Yes.
So it is.
So, Michele, thank you so much for talking with me today. Again, congratulations. Michele does also advertise in On Purpose One magazine. The link to the magazine will be in the text of the video as well. So check out her ads. Please go to her website, sign up for her free gift, and also check out the On Purpose Woman Global Community on my website, which is in the text of this video. So thanks again for watching the Real Women, Real Purpose talk show. Be sure and check out our YouTube channel for informative interviews like this one. Not just informative, but inspiring and uplifting and educational, where women are out there, real women, living their purpose and bringing their gifts to the planet. I also do interviews with women who are the contributing writers to On Purpose Woman magazine, and we record our speakers at the On Purpose Woman Global Community. So the YouTube channel is actually full of all kinds of wisdom from all kinds of really, really, really great women. So thank you again for watching.